Did you know that poor circulation in your legs can steal your balance faster than any other change that happens after 60? And here's the part almost no one talks about. Your blood vessels lose nearly half of their natural flexibility long before you ever feel the first cramp, the first cold toe, or that strange heaviness when you get out of bed. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell, and what I'm about to tell you may challenge everything you thought you understood about aging, mobility, and the real reason your legs don't feel the way they used to. Let me paint a clearer picture. After 60, something extremely important happens inside your blood vessels. They stop producing the amount of nitric oxide your legs rely on to stay warm, steady, and strong. Without it, the arteries in your lower body begin to tighten like aging garden hoses. Narrow, stiff, resistant to the flow that once came so easily. Blood struggles to reach your feet. Muscles tire sooner, and your confidence on your own two legs slowly fades without your permission. But here's the surprising truth. This decline isn't permanent, and there are simple drinks already in most American kitchens that can help restore what time has quietly taken away. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Beetroot juice. The natural boost your aging blood vessels have been waiting for. After 60, the body begins to whisper things it never said in your younger years. Your legs feel heavier when you rise from a chair, your feet cool down faster on winter nights, and sometimes, halfway through a grocery aisle, you notice a slight tightness in your calves, and you wonder, when did walking become something I have to think about? These are not signs of weakness. They are signs of a circulation system that has quietly changed with age. What many older adults in the United States don't realize is this. One of the simplest, most natural ways to support blood flow in the legs may already sit in the produce section of every neighborhood supermarket. Beetroot juice, deep red, earthy, humble, has become one of the most studied natural sources of vascular support in modern nutrition science. The reason is surprisingly straightforward. As we grow older, the inner lining of our blood vessels produces less nitric oxide, a molecule essential for keeping arteries relaxed, open, and flexible. In youth, nitric oxide flows effortlessly. After 60, production can drop significantly. When that happens, the arteries that feed your legs begin to stiffen. Blood doesn't move as freely, and you begin to feel the difference every time you step, climb, or stand. Beetroot juice is uniquely rich in natural nitrates, the raw material your body converts into nitric oxide. When you drink it, a quiet chain reaction begins. Bacteria in your mouth transform the nitrates. Your stomach finishes the conversion, and within hours, nitric oxide begins flowing through your bloodstream like a gentle reminder to your arteries. Relax, open, let the blood move again. For seniors, this matters more than most people understand. Improved nitric oxide can help the vessels in your legs widen slightly, enough to warm cold feet, ease that evening heaviness, and reduce those middle-of-the-night calf cramps that steal your sleep. Some studies from universities in the US and UK show that daily beetroot juice may improve walking endurance and lower resting blood pressure, two pillars of independence in older age. But the story is not just biological, it is personal. Think of the quiet confidence that returns when you walk steadily across a parking lot without slowing down. Think of the comfort of stepping out of bed in the morning and feeling warmth in your feet instead of a dull ache. For many older Americans, circulation is not just a medical issue. It is about dignity, mobility, and the freedom to keep living life on their own terms. Beetroot juice is not a miracle. It will not erase decades of wear on the arteries, but it offers the body a tool it naturally recognizes. A tool that supports blood flow in a way that aligns with how aging biology truly works. And the best part? It is accessible, affordable, and remarkably simple to add to a morning routine. An 8 Oz glass on an empty stomach. Nothing exotic, nothing complicated, just a quiet habit that gives your heart and legs a helping hand each day. And here is the thought that surprises most seniors. The first step toward better circulation may come from something as small as the color red swirling in a glass. Now, with your blood vessels awakened, let's explore another drink that supports the same goal yet works in a completely different way. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Cocoa drink. A warm cup that gently wakes up aging blood vessels. There is something comforting about a warm drink in the hands of someone who has lived more than 6 decades. It brings back memories. Winter mornings before school, quiet evenings after work, the small rituals that once made the world feel safe. But what if one of those familiar comforts held a deeper benefit, one uniquely suited to the needs of an aging body? For many seniors in the United States, circulation issues begin subtly. It may start with a tingling in the toes or a stiffness in the calves when standing after a long drive. Over time, walking across a supermarket aisle or stepping up a front porch becomes slower than you remember. These experiences are not just nuisances. They are the body's quiet reminders that the arteries delivering blood to your legs are no longer as flexible as they once were. This is where a simple, often overlooked drink steps in: pure, unsweetened cocoa. Not the sugary packets from childhood, not hot chocolate mixed with marshmallows, but real cocoa rich in flavonols, the plant compounds that science has repeatedly linked to improved vascular function. These flavonols don't work through magic. They work through biology that becomes increasingly important after age 60. As the body ages, the inner lining of your arteries, the endothelium, loses some of its ability to relax and widen. This narrowing makes it harder for blood to reach your legs, leaving them cold, tight, and easily fatigued. Flavonols in cocoa support the endothelium by encouraging the production of nitric oxide, the same vital molecule that helps blood vessels open and carry oxygen-rich blood where it is needed most. For seniors, this means something more personal: a chance to feel warmth return to feet that have grown chilly too often, or to walk a little farther before the heaviness sets in. Research conducted in older adults has shown that regular cocoa consumption can improve blood flow, enhance walking ability, and even support better cognitive function by keeping small vessels flexible. But beyond the science lies a deeper truth. There is a quiet dignity in taking care of oneself in ways that feel comforting rather than burdensome. A warm cup of cocoa in the afternoon can become a ritual, not a chore. It is soothing, familiar, and gentle on the stomach. It fits naturally into the rhythm of a senior's day, offering nourishment without complication. The key, of course, is choosing the right kind: 100% unsweetened cocoa prepared simply with hot water or unsweetened milk, perhaps softened with a touch of stevia. It may not taste like childhood hot chocolate, but it carries something far more valuable for a body that has earned both rest and care. What makes this drink especially important for people over 60 is that it addresses an issue most seniors never discuss openly: the slow, steady stiffening of the arteries that changes how confidently you move through the world. Supporting those vessels becomes essential, not only for circulation, but for independence, balance, and the ability to keep living life on your own terms. And the surprising part? Sometimes the journey toward better circulation begins not with a doctor's prescription, but with a warm mug held between your hands, reminding you that simple things still have power. Now, if cocoa wakes up the vessels from within, the next drink works by soothing a different system entirely. 3. Hibiscus tea. A gentle way to ease the pressure on aging arteries. If you are over 60, there are quiet moments when your body speaks to you more clearly than it once did. Maybe you notice your legs feeling heavier by afternoon. Maybe you pause halfway up the stairs, letting the tightness in your calves ease before taking the next step. Or perhaps the blood pressure reading at your last checkup lingered in your mind longer than you expected. These changes are subtle at first, but they can shape your days as you age. And that is why many older adults are surprised to learn that something as simple as a cup of hibiscus tea, deep red, tart, floral, has become one of the most respected natural supports for circulation and vascular health. The story behind hibiscus tea is not New Age wellness talk. It is rooted in decades of research. As the body grows older, blood pressure tends to rise. Arteries lose elasticity. The vessels that carry blood down to your feet and legs become less responsive, less able to widen and deliver warmth and oxygen where you need it most. High blood pressure accelerates this process, straining the vessel walls and making circulation sluggish. Hibiscus tea offers a gentle counterbalance. This tea, made from the petals of the hibiscus flower, contains natural compounds, anthocyanins and organic acids, that help the arteries relax. They encourage the vessel walls to soften their grip, allowing blood to move with a little more freedom. Several studies conducted on adults, including seniors in the US, have shown that hibiscus tea can lower systolic blood pressure by a modest but meaningful amount. And for someone whose vessels are already working harder than they once did, even a small improvement can change how the legs feel throughout the day. But what makes hibiscus tea especially important for older Americans is not just the science. It is the way its effects echo into daily life. Improved blood flow can mean fewer late-night leg cramps, less swelling around the ankles at the end of a long day, or a steadier, warmer feeling in the feet during the colder months. These are the kinds of changes that quietly restore comfort, confidence, and independence. And there is something comforting in the ritual itself. Warming the water, adding a tea bag, watching the color bloom into a deep crimson. It is slow, steady, and peaceful, something the body recognizes and welcomes. For seniors who need to be mindful of caffeine, Hibiscus tea offers a soothing alternative that supports health without stimulating the heart. The preparation is simple. Steep 1 or 2 bags for about 10 minutes and enjoy it in the morning or early evening. It can be served warm or chilled depending on the season and your preference. What matters is the consistency, because the body responds best to habits that become part of the everyday rhythm. Of course, hibiscus tea is not a substitute for prescribed medication, especially for seniors managing chronic hypertension, but it is a natural companion, one that works with the body, not against it, helping aging arteries remember how to relax again. Many older adults describe the same experience. Their legs feel lighter, their steps feel surer, and their evenings become more comfortable. And it often starts with nothing more than a simple cup shared with the quiet of the day. But if hibiscus tea offers relief through gentle pressure control, the next drink supports circulation through an entirely different pathway, one that begins with the very greens found in your kitchen. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Celery juice. A clean, quiet source of circulation support for the aging body. There comes a time after 60 when you begin to notice the small signs your younger self never had to think about. The stairs feel a bit steeper. Standing up from the couch takes a little more focus. Your legs, once dependable and responsive, sometimes feel like they need a few extra seconds to wake up. These subtle changes are not signs of failure. They are reminders of how much your blood vessels have carried for you across a lifetime. And it is often in these moments of slowing down that many seniors discover an unexpected ally: celery juice. At first glance, celery seems too simple, too ordinary to matter. It sits humbly in every American grocery store, squeezed between lettuces and carrots. Nothing flashy, nothing exotic, but inside each crisp stalk lies something profoundly important for people over 60, a rich supply of naturally occurring nitrates. For aging arteries, nitrates are not just nutrients. They are the sparks that help reignite the body's ability to produce nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for helping blood vessels relax and widen. This relaxation is essential because as we age, our arteries stiffen. The vessels feeding the legs and feet become narrower and blood has to work harder to reach the lower body. It is why older adults often feel cold feet, nighttime cramps, or dull heaviness after even modest movement. When celery juice enters the picture, something remarkable begins. Once consumed, bacteria in the mouth transform its natural nitrates into nitrites. The stomach then converts those nitrites into nitric oxide. This chain of events, a simple, elegant biological process, helps the blood vessels soften their tension and encourages more efficient blood flow toward the legs. But beyond the science, there is an emotional truth that matters deeply to older adults. Improved circulation means reclaimed freedom. It means walking across the yard without stopping, getting groceries without leaning on the cart for relief, or rising in the morning without that tight, dragging sensation in the calves. Celery juice is refreshing, mild, and easy on the stomach. Qualities many seniors appreciate. It requires no sugar, no additives, no complicated preparation. Just 4 or 5 stalks through a juicer create a glass of light green liquid that supports the very pathways your body depends on to stay steady and mobile. What makes this drink especially relevant for Americans over 60 is how seamlessly it fits into the rhythm of aging life. Morning routines become slower, more intentional, meals become simpler, health choices become more thoughtful, and celery juice, clean, hydrating, and gentle, feels like a natural part of that shift. For those managing blood pressure or early vascular stiffness, regular celery juice may help ease some of the strain on the arteries. For those wanting to maintain leg strength and balance, improved circulation can support better movement and reduce fatigue. And for anyone who has noticed swelling around the ankles after sitting too long, the added hydration alone can be a quiet source of relief. Of course, celery juice is not a cure or a shortcut. It is a companion, a supportive tool for a body that has served you through decades of work, family, and life's everyday challenges. And sometimes, what the aging body needs most is not something complicated, but something clean, simple, and steady. You may be surprised to learn that while celery juice works through subtle nourishment, the next drink approaches circulation from a much more powerful angle. 5. Arugula smoothie. A powerful green that helps aging legs find their strength again. There is a moment in later life that many people never talk about out loud. It happens when you stand up from the dining table and feel that slight hesitation in your legs before they steady themselves, or when you walk across a parking lot and notice your steps are shorter than they used to be. These small changes are not dramatic, but they carry a quiet message. The blood flowing to your legs is meeting more resistance than it once did. For older adults across the United States, circulation challenges often come from a simple but profound shift. The blood vessels gradually stiffen with age. And when the vessels narrow, the legs, which sit farthest from the heart, feel it first. This is why the temperature in your feet changes before the temperature outside does. Why your calves tire faster. Why the body that once moved effortlessly now requires a little more care. This is where an unlikely hero enters the story. Arugula, the peppery green tucked beside the spinach and romaine in every grocery store. Arugula is far more than a salad topping. It is one of the most concentrated natural sources of dietary nitrates known in modern nutrition. These nitrates fuel the production of nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for helping your arteries relax, widen, and deliver blood efficiently to your legs and feet. And for someone over 60, nitric oxide is not simply helpful, it is essential. In youth, nitric oxide flows freely. After 60, production drops significantly. This drop is one of the key reasons many seniors begin to feel sluggish circulation in the lower legs. Arugula helps address that decline directly, offering the body the raw material it needs to create nitric oxide naturally. But arugula's strength is best unlocked in a smoothie. When blended with berries and a touch of banana, its strong flavor softens and its nutrients become quickly available to the body. A simple cup of this green smoothie can kickstart better blood flow within hours, supporting the tissues that depend on steady circulation to stay warm, flexible, and strong. For seniors, the benefits go beyond biology. Better circulation means steadier steps, fewer nighttime cramps, and less fatigue during daily errands. It means walking the neighborhood trail a bit farther, standing in the kitchen long enough to cook dinner without needing to sit, or simply feeling warmth return to feet that have grown used to being cold. And there is something deeply hopeful about this drink. It symbolizes the idea that strength in older age does not always come from medicine or complicated routines. Sometimes it comes from something as simple as a handful of greens, a blender, and a few quiet minutes in the morning. Preparing the smoothie is easy. 2 cups of arugula, a cup of berries, half a banana, and unsweetened almond milk. Blend, drink immediately, and let your body absorb the support it has been quietly asking for. For a body that has walked through decades of challenges, arugula offers a way to keep moving with confidence, not by force, but by nourishing the very pathways that make movement possible. And now that you've discovered how each drink strengthens circulation in its own unique way, it's time to bring everything together and understand what happens when these choices become a daily habit. Bringing it all together. A daily path towards stronger circulation and steadier steps. When you reach your 60s, 70s, and beyond, your body begins to speak with a quieter, more honest voice. It tells you when your legs need support, when your feet grow colder than they should, and when walking takes more intention than it once did. These are not signs of decline. They are signals that your circulation needs gentle, consistent care. Each drink you've discovered, beetroot juice, cocoa, hibiscus tea, celery juice, and the arugula smoothie, works in its own way to help aging blood vessels relax, open, and carry life-giving blood down to your legs. They support nitric oxide, nourish the endothelium, hydrate the tissues, and ease the pressure placed on the arteries over time. Most importantly, they offer something deeper, daily habits that honor the body that has carried you through a lifetime of work, family, and memories. None of these drinks are magic, and none replace medication or medical care. But together, they create a rhythm of nourishment that helps your legs stay warm, your steps stay steady, and your independence remain firmly in your hands. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. A glass in the morning, a warm cup in the afternoon, a smoothie when you choose, all small choices that build into meaningful change. Circulation improves slowly but consistently, just as strength and confidence return one day at a time. And as you begin this journey, there is one final truth you'll want to know, something even more powerful than any single drink, something that can transform your circulation in ways most seniors never expect. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths.